So here we are late. It's currently 2:15 and they closed boarding completely at 2:30. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute, but excited to be here. I've never been in this terminal before. This is Terminal 29 here in Port Everglades. Usually Cruise Terminal 25 is the one that Celebrity uses, but Celebrity Beyond is there today. And all the other cruise terminals that Celebrity uses as alternatives to 25 are in use by Royal Caribbean. Of course, the parent group, or sister group rather, of Celebrity Cruises. So haven't even had time to gather myself yet. Don't even know really where I'm going, other than that we're going to the ship. So so excited to board the Celebrity Silhouette. Here we go, one of the last guests to board today actually. There were very few people behind me as they were closing the doors behind me as I came in, or getting ready to at least. So very late arrival. We're so glad to be making it on board Celebrity Silhouette for the very first time, completing the series for me, the Solstice class ships. This is it. This is the 5th of 5 for me. So welcome officially on board Celebrity Silhouette here in Fort Lauderdale. Hi. So entering here on deck 5, as you normally do. We need to go to our muster station though, but we'll take a brief look here in the main atrium. Very busy already at 2:25 now on embarkation day. See here in the atrium, you got 3 levels of excitement right here, the heart of the ship. You got a dance floor down there on deck 3. And then on deck 4, you have craft social, and the martini bar is right under us. We'll see that later. And then across the way there, all the folks over there gathered at Cafe Al Bacio. I'm gonna cross through the world-class bar here to get over here to the other side of deck 5, because we're gonna go all the way forward to the Silhouette Theater, the main theater here on board the ship. It's all the way forward on decks 4 and 5, but our muster station is gonna be on deck 5. We're flanked by shops, the different shops here, Celebrity shops. This is, it's wild. And here we go, a departure from the other Solstice series ships. The theater here isn't called the Silhouette Theater. Usually on the other Solstice class, it's, you know, the Reflection Theater, the Solstice Theater. It's just called the theater here on board the Silhouette. But regardless, we got to do our muster drill. So I'm gonna take care of that real quick, and we'll talk about it right after. And literally like a minute later after going in there, we are done. We have our muster drill completed. It's that easy. So we can officially say that we're officially on our cruise, the very first cruise of 2025. I want to thank you for adventuring with me for another year. A lot of you coming back video after video. If you're new to my channel though, I encourage you to go and subscribe down below, because we have a lot of adventures to come from this cruise, certainly, but a lot of exciting cruises to come that I can't wait to tell you about in 2025. You're just going to have to wait and see where all we venture this year, because we have a lot of places to go and a lot of the world to see, I'll say that. But we're starting it all off here on board Celebrity Silhouette, a 3-day cruise starting here today in Port Everglades. We're going to be visiting Key West and Bimini, Bahamas, and I picked this cruise specifically for this. Well, I wanted to sell Silhouette, but I picked this cruise specifically for the Itinerary, because they have, Silhouette's been doing 3 and 4 day cruises all winter long. They've been doing cruises to, I think you can do like maybe Nassau and Bimini, or Key West and Nassau maybe it is, or Key West and Bimini. And I really like Bimini and I really like Key West. Haven't been to Key West in over 10 years, so really excited to get back there. And I also love Bimini. Have been there a couple of times now. So I thought this would be a perfect weekend cruise, a perfect itinerary for that. So I specifically chose this one. I don't know that they do this one a lot, the Key West and Bimini. So that's why I chose it. So I can't wait to get back to both of those places. And like I said, on the Silhouette, a new ship to me. Now, I am boarding much later than I normally would. I do usually like to be here first. The check-in process was so quick, was so easy, because I was so late. There probably wasn't more than 30 people there that were just the stragglers of the day, you know, getting here at the last minute, because 2:30 was the very last time for you to arrive. That's like when the gangway was going to be closed today. I had some issues with a flight. I know a lot of you watching my channel right now, you've made comments to me before like, Zach, why do you fly places on the morning of your cruise? Never fly on the same day as your cruise. That's very risky. And it is, which was proven to me today, because I came within 15 minutes of missing my flight. And that was all the hustle I had to get here on time. But some flight delays, there was some maintenance issues with the plane I was flying in on this morning. That delayed me, but had that plane taken off 16 minutes later, I wouldn't have gotten to the ship in time. So that's a cautionary tale of the day for you, is to always fly in the night before. And this is gonna be a do as I say, not as I do type situation, because you're gonna see me do that a lot, because I do. But I feel like I'm agile, you know, I'm an experienced traveler. One day it's gonna burn me, I know. But because I don't have a family that I'm traveling with and it's just me, usually I find I can, you know, get on another flight or rebook and fly to another city nearby if I need to. And actually that was the case today, because there were some flights to Miami that I could have gotten on and actually made it probably even earlier than what I did. But I chose to stay on my original flight and just make it late. So long story short, it's been a morning. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. I thought I would be boarding the ship at 11 o'clock this morning because I did have premium access. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a little bit, tell you about the premium access experience. But I thought I'd be boarding like one of the first people, and instead I was one of the last people. So this is my caution for you. Make sure you're flying in and arriving at the port the night before you're going to cruise, because you don't want to end up like me and being in a hurry and we missed like, well, 3 hours of, well, 3.5 hours, 4 hours by the time we get settled and everything of your cruise the very first day, especially on these short cruises. I feel like every minute counts, you know, you got to make the most of every minute. So yeah, don't be like me, fly in, get here as early as you can. So that's my cautionary tale of the day. But I'm going to stop talking now, not completely, but I'm going to stop doing this this selfie mode and flip back around here and show you some of the ship. One of the first things we're going to see is the stateroom that we have. I'm actually up on the 9th deck. I think in the 9th deck forward. So we're going to proceed there right now and show you what room I'm going to have for this 3-day sailing on Silhouette. Okay, here we are, deck 9. We got to go to a 9172. We're on the... All right. So it went the wrong way originally, but I think we're back on track now. Just a bit disoriented today with the delays and everything. But yeah, you can see our room right up here, our inside cabin. All right, so here we are at the room now. All right, let's go in and check it out. I was out here meeting my neighbors and being social for a minute. Here we go, 9172. This is an inside stateroom, of course, here on the Celebrity Silhouette. Getting a stale odor first thing. Woo, we're gonna turn the air down in hopes that that clears out. It smells really stale and kind of musty in here though. But yeah, this is the cool thing about I think all of the staterooms on board the Silhouette is they've all been, because this ship has been revolutionized, which is Celebrity's way of saying updated. All the staterooms look different. So one of my main complaints about the staterooms on board the other Solstice class ships, or a lot of them at least, not all the staterooms are updated, and they have, you know, old looking carpet. The couches that you see over there, they're all run down. So I think this should be a lot better of a stateroom. It looks better. The carpet looks newer. It's not that gaudy red carpet, maroon carpet that they have on other ships. You can see the sofa over here. They've actually reupholstered these, and they're leather now. So it's not the cloth before that got all gross or whatever. So yeah, that's the couch situation. That's the decor situation. That's why it looks a little different than some of the other staterooms on other ships. This is the bathroom, of course. And this is the standard bathroom that you're going to get on any cabin, on any Solstice class ship. They're going to look just like this. Unless you're in a retreat suite or something like that, your stateroom is most likely going to look like this. Your bathroom in your stateroom, I should say. It's going to look like this. And there are included some shampoo, some conditioner, and shower gel. So that's one less thing that you have to pack, which is always great, because packing toiletries is a headache for me because I carry on everything. So figuring out what I can and can't put in my little quart size bag is sometimes frustrating. There's some lotion in here. There's some Kleenex. Of course, your hand towels and all of your towels. You see all the towels hanging over here are included. As always, there's also some bar soap included here as well. So that's the bathroom. And then the room, like we saw, it looks nice. The only thing it's missing is a balcony, but that's okay. We're trying to cruise cheaper and be smarter with our money in 2025, right? That's one of our goals. So you're going to see me in a lot more, and interior staterooms this year, so stand by and wait for that. You can see here our itinerary there, Fort Lauderdale. We're going to Key West and then to Bimini, not going very far at all. There's some things left here in the room. These waters here, do not drink them unless you want to pay extra. You will have to pay for those, as well as anything in the mini bar. All these things that they tempt you with down here, you'll have to pay extra for those. All the events that are going on, all the things happening around the ship, it's all detailed right here. And I do have premium access, as I mentioned. Let me cut the TV off, that's can be annoying. So this is telling you everything that's included in premium access. Premium Wi-Fi for 2 devices per person, unlimited complimentary room service. Now that room service charge is usually $9.95 plus an 18% service charge, so there's a savings there. A welcome lunch in the main dining room, served from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Well, folks, we just missed that by about 25 minutes. So that's unfortunate. You also get priority departure from the ship to shore in ports that require tender service, reserved seating at shows in the theater, and express luggage service the morning of departing your cruise. And this is saying that reserved seating in the theater, deck 4, is on the front row right side, and then you can connect to the Wi-Fi seamlessly, which we're about to do, via the Celebrity Cruises app. So, you know, I wanted to take advantage of the priority boarding. I mean, that's one of the perks of this, of course. You can get on the ship faster than everyone else other than folks in the retreat. But I also wanted to take advantage of the lunch, but didn't quite make it for that. But that's premium access. I booked it because it was actually cheaper, I think, around the same price. It was $29.99 per day. And it's just me, so that equated times 3. That was like $90 that I paid for it for this 3-day cruise. And you get all these included benefits. But I booked it mainly for that Wi-Fi benefit, because Wi-Fi for 2 devices, I think the price was double for that. What I could, if I just wanted to book the Wi-Fi separately, like by itself, that was double the price of what the premium access was. So it was actually a really good deal just getting the premium Wi-Fi alone. Now, normally, if today were a normal cruise day for me, which it's anything but because of all the aforementioned things, me being late, all that stuff, I would have gone to guest services first thing to see what an upgrade might look like. But I doubt that there are any upgrades available. And honestly, the line at guest services is probably so long right now. Just everybody down there getting on the ship going right to guest services. So I don't even think I'm going to bother. Maybe I'll do a drive-by and see how many people are at guest services. And if the line's not long, maybe I'll ask just for fun to see what an upgrade might be like. But like I said, we're trying to be better about money and trying to spend less on cruises. And follow me for more tips, seriously. Because I love to travel as cheap as I can and book the cheapest cruises that I can. Sometimes you might be scratching your head and thinking, we watch your videos. You absolutely do not. But I promise I do try to be thrifty when it comes to booking cruises. And cruises have gotten quite expensive in the past year or so. Because a lot more people are cruising. A lot more folks are creating, you know, content on social media and YouTube. And that's inspiring a lot of people to go on cruises. So, yeah, it's just expensive. So I'm trying to do things cheap, but I might run by there just for kicks and giggles, just to see, you know, what it might be like to upgrade to a balcony. Who knows? But yeah, at any rate, I'm going to get out of this room and go check out some of the Celebrity Silhouette. And of course, I'm going to take you along with me. So I did just go check because the line wasn't that long at guest services, and they said completely full sailing, no upgrades available now, but to check back after 5. All right, it's now 5:24 and we're officially moving here on the Silhouette. Celebrity Beyond right there about the middle of your screen. She's left before us, and Grandeur of the Seas, you can see right there, heading out of port as well. So both of those ships left. They were behind us here in the channel, and they have left before us. Freedom of the Seas has also departed as well, but here on deck 5 on the promenade I showed you earlier, as we sail away and depart Port Everglades, I should say, not Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. Yeah, you can see, probably can't make it out, but Freedom of the Seas, and then the Beyond, and then Grandeur of the Seas, and then we're last out today. And I think that takes care of all the cruise ships that were in port here in Port Everglades today. About 125 nautical miles, so about 150 miles or so to get down to our first port of call tomorrow of Key West. And because it is so chilly out today, I have noticed there's very few people out and about on the open decks for sail away. Maybe folks are on their balconies, but I thought there'd be a lot more people out, even up on the on deck 14 and deck 12, where the pool decks are. There weren't a lot of people out there earlier, so I think a lot of folks are hanging indoors today. Because if you're a Floridian, this is very cold. Like, it's only 60 degrees today, and I was talking to my rideshare driver on the way over, and they were telling me how this is so unusually cool and cold even for South Florida. I'm gonna walk to the port side of the ship now to see, check out the port. Ooh, get that heavy blast of cool wind in your face as the door's open there. But see the port of Port Everglades. It's actually raining now too, so yeah, not the best sail away that it can be. I should mention the Beyond is that we just saw heading out for a 10-day Southern Caribbean. So hoping we'll have a better, not that this was a bad terminal that we had over here, it's just old and it's kind of unusual for Port Everglades. So hoping we'll have better port when we come back in on Monday. Maybe we'll get 25 down here, which is Celebrity's very own terminal. They don't share that with anyone, but when one of the newer Ed Sheery ships is in port, they always let those ships, rightfully so, have that port. So now we can see Terminal 25 right there. Again, Celebrity's own terminal that they use here. Been out of this one many times. This is the first time I've ever embarked on a Celebrity cruise from Fort Lauderdale anywhere but Terminal 25. So since we just sailed away, I thought we'd come out here and check out any type of sail away party. And as you can see, the weather has kept folks away from the pool deck because it is so chilly. And I've heard folks all around the ship complaining about how chilly it is. Again, just like 59 degrees right now. But not much of a sail away party here for this 3-day cruise. As we depart Fort Lauderdale, I'll come across over here and show you. This is always one of my favorite views when you leave Fort Lauderdale and you can see the beach. Also, not a soul on the beach either. So just like the pool deck, not a lot of folks out on this cool, chilly January day. Last time I was sailing out of here was November, and that beach was just full of people waving and enjoying seeing the ship sail away. But not today, not a lot of fanfare as everybody's trying to keep warm here in Florida. But a beautiful sunset sail away too, which is nice. Let's take a look at what they're having on the buffet tonight. They have some chicken burritos. Looks like they have some Mexican cuisine going on. They have some chicken mole, some beef gravy with some mashed potatoes here, and then they have a selection of different nachos with different fixings. I love the nachos. These are one of my favorite things that they have. Usually at lunch they have the nachos set up, but glad to see they have it at dinner. May have to try some of this. So this is this section here is usually like the specialty. It's something different every night. They also have some chimichanga over here. Right there. Some Mexican rice. And then they have nachos with tomato sauce and cheese right here. So this is like the specialty sort of cuisine of the night is Mexican. The desserts over here, probably similar to what they had for lunch. But we'll take a look at those real quick. They have a chocolate poke cake. They have a dulce de leche cake. A dulce de leche roulade. Then they have all sorts of different peach tart, a cake impossible, and then some cookies down here, it looks like, and some churros. Back here on the back wall is the grilled section. I think this is stuff that they typically have just about every night. They have baked potatoes, they have some chicken fingers, they have some different grilled vegetables, and they have some sauces and gravies. They also have tonight some flank steak, which looks good, some minute steak, and then some grilled chicken breasts and grilled fish as well. And then over here they have some hot dogs, some burgers, and then of course all the fixings that go with that, some mushrooms and onions, and then the buns and everything. And then some fruit over here. This is what I should be eating. Maybe it is what I'll be eating. There's also a salad bar up there we didn't get to. They also have Indian selections, which they have anytime the buffet's open, they have the Indian selections. And then they have this section here in the middle, which is like kind of like charcuterie, a lot of meat and cheeses. And then the bread selections as well are right here in the middle. And these right here, these breadsticks, they're paprika breadsticks tonight, but you have to get these. These are so good, as well as this bread here. It's really crispy and it's just really good. I really enjoy that. But other bread selections are here available for you as well. So keeping it very simple so far with just a salad here from the salad bar. I'm going to go back and get more probably in a minute, but just wanted to show you this salad. They have really anything you want to put on a salad they have up there on the salad bar, so always a good selection. Good morning from Key West. We've made it. It's beautiful. It's windy. It's so windy. I mean, you can probably tell from the trees and stuff. It's a little chilly. It's about 59 degrees currently. It's supposed to warm up to, I think, about 68. So I'm actually in shorts and short sleeves, and was kind of curious how I would fare in this weather in those type of clothes. But I think we'll be okay. It doesn't feel, here in the sunlight, it doesn't feel quite as cool as it actually is. But it's going to be a great day here. I'm very excited about what I have planned. And what I do have planned is going on a shore excursion through Shore Excursions Group. I work with them a lot. I really love Shore Excursions Group. There's a link down in the description below. You can go down there and book your short excursion with them. But today I'm going to be going on a walking food tour of Key West. And I've done this once before. I did it in Amsterdam last summer when I was over there on Norwegian Prima. Loved it. It's a great way to see a place. You know, not only do you get to taste a lot of different food and different types of cuisines, but you also get like a cultural, historical tour of the place you're visiting too, because as you walk from neighborhood to neighborhood and explore, you really get a good insight of the place that you're visiting. So I'm really happy and really excited that I get to do that today here in Key West. And I'm really excited to be back in Key West. It's been about, I don't know, over 10 years since I've been here. And the cool thing I'll tell you about Key West, this was actually my first ever port of call, because about my goodness, it's been like 24 years ago now, my very first cruise that my parents took me on. We left Tampa on a 4-day cruise on the Carnival Tropical, and Key West was our first stop. We also visited Cozumel that cruise, but this was my very first port of call, so it was so exciting as a little kid to like get off a cruise ship and see a brand new place for the first time. So, you know, some of my beginnings, I guess, of being a cruise YouTuber started right here in Key West, Florida. So I'm excited to be back here today, excited to explore. Right now, I'm just gonna get some water and things. It's currently 9:47. My excursion starts at 12, or that's when I have to meet for it. But I do wanna get off and walk around Key West and visit and show you around some of that. So I'm gonna get off the ship here in just a minute, and I will meet you in Key West. How about that? So I just got off the ship and just walked over here into Mallory Square, which is really close by to the cruise terminal, but it's a nice place to want to get some pictures of the ship. It's a good vibe over here. It's very quiet right now, but yeah, good pictures of the ship. If you want to get some family pictures, I highly recommend you come over here. Just get off the ship, take a left, and you can't miss Mallory Square. The time is currently about 10:30. My tour starts at 12. That's when we're supposed to be meeting at the designated meeting location, but I wanted to get off a little bit early and see some of the sights, see what we can see. Wanted to walk through Key West down to the other end and actually go to the southernmost point of the U.S. So we'll see some of that. We'll go down to Duval Street and just, you know, see where the day takes us here in Key West. There is a lot of stuff just here in the general vicinity of the cruise terminal. You can see the top of the ship over there. We're not that far away, but there's like, what is this over here? Like the Shipwreck Treasures Museum right there. There's a lot of shops. There's a lot of restaurants immediately right here. I did see like the Key West Aquarium back over there as well. So a lot of stuff just here in the immediate vicinity of the cruise pier. We're now leaving Mallory Square, and there are signs everywhere. Duval Street, of course, is the main, we'll call it the main drag for lack of a better term. It's the main street here in Key West, one that folks like to hit up, a lot of shops, restaurants, bars, things like that. So we're gonna walk there. There are signs, though, it's very well signed of, you know, go this way to Duval Street. So we're gonna walk there and walk south down Duval Street, and that should take us to the southernmost point. So we'll go there first, and we'll just see what we can sight as we walk that way. So this CVS that you see right across the street here is kind of denotes the beginning of Duval Street. So when you see that, if you walk around the corner and see the CVS, just know now you turn, and we've now entered Duval Street. Again, if you've not been here before, this is just, there's a lot of stuff on Duval Street, and that's why we're walking down it. I think it's a great starting point for any exploration of Key West. Just see what's on Duval Street and then sort of branch out from there. I'm noticing while walking around that a lot of things are closed. Maybe because it's a Saturday, so maybe things are closed on the weekend. Of course, Key West is pretty much always busy though, because it's not just a cruise port. I mean, it's a major tourist destination too. We just had a huge jet fly over us landing at the airport nearby. So folks come here, and you can tell by the amount of people in the streets. These aren't just folks from our ship. There's only one ship in port because that's all there's room for. But there's also people coming in from everywhere to visit Key West, and they stay in the resorts and the hotels and things here. So it's really cool, like the mix of people vacationing. A lot of cruise traffic, of course, but also a lot of folks that just come here and stay here. But interesting to see as I walk down Duval Street, a lot of stuff closed today. It's also very cold today. It's currently, I think, about 60 degrees, which is very unusual for Key West. It's actually January when I'm filming this, so late January. But we've had a lot of cold weather across the entire United States, and it's extended all the way down here in Florida. So to be like, I think when we got here this morning, it was something like 55 degrees. It was chilly. I'm powering through. I don't have a jacket on. I did bring my jacket just in case I got too cold. There is a breeze blowing, but so far it's not so bad. But it is pretty weird to be just 60-ish degrees here in Key West. There's a Banana Republic across the street, and I wanted to say that in addition to a lot of local places, there's also a lot of very well-known brands that have stores here. This is another CVS right here. And then down here, there's actually a Coach factory store. So just to show you, there's a large selection if you're into shopping, plenty of shopping, whether you want to do local shopping or, you know, look at in some brand stores, whatever you want to do. There's a Gap down here. There's all sorts of that to be found here on Duval Street. So we have now walked all the way down Duval Street. We walked all the way across Key West, basically, width-wise at least, from up there where the ship was docked in the northern part of Duval all the way down here to the southern part of Duval Street. So that took in total about probably about 35, 40 minutes. I'm a pretty fast walker, but you can't really walk fast because there's just so many people. So you're kind of just having to go with the speed of traffic. So that's why it took a little bit longer probably than, even if you're a fast walker, just know it's probably gonna take 35, 40 minutes to get from where the cruise is, or where the cruise ships are, down here to the other end of Duval Street, down here to the southernmost point of the United States. But we're not even there yet. It's over here. We'll see it in a minute, but this is like a little pier to walk out on. So I thought we would walk out here and look at the water a bit. So here we go. You can, here's the water. This is, it's kind of cool because you can see stuff that you normally wouldn't see just from the ship. If you're coming here by cruise, which I assume if you're watching this video, you probably are. It's just this little pier right here at the very end of Duval Street. That's where we're standing right now. There's a little beach over here, so I don't know if this is used for, there's a lot of hotels around here, so that might be for use of the hotels, but if you are looking for a beach or somewhere to go, you might be able to come here and check that out. But yeah, this is the end of Duval Street. That's what it looks like. Now we've made it to the southernmost point in the continental United States, just from this location, 90 miles to Cuba. And this is the famous photo, of course, that folks want to take when they come here to Key West. But I did want to show you, you know, your Instagram, what you see on Instagram or what you see on social media versus reality. Because just look at the line on this cold January day. It stretches all the way down the street here. Folks wanting to come in and get a picture with this monument here, marking the southernmost point of the United States. This can be my selfie of sorts with the marker. You can see it right back there. I was here. It happened. It's about 11:15 now. My tour meets at 12. I do want to be there early though. So I'm going to start heading that way slowly. We're actually, the first stop, or the meetup spot at least, is a Cuban restaurant. I'm going to head over there in just a few minutes. And I will catch up with you when we get over there. I'm really excited to start this walking food tour though, because it's exciting to be in Key West. But as you walk throughout the town yourself, you know, you might be missing a lot of the historical and cultural context. So I know that that's what this tour is going to provide. So I'm excited to get over there and taste some really good local flavors, some local food, and also get to check out Key West and learn more about it. So we're gonna head over there now, and I'm gonna impart on you as much as I can how delicious the food is, and also teach you as much as I can some of the history and some of the facts that I'm learning as we go on our walking tour around Key West. We've reached our first stop of the day. This is the El Ciboney restaurant. This is a Cuban restaurant. It's the meeting location of the tour, which will be starting in just a minute. But I did want to show you that we are off the beaten path per se a little bit. We're not on Duval Street anymore. It's just a residential street. Actually walked about half a mile down this residential street to get here. So one of the cool things about a walking food tour is that you do sort of get off the beaten path a bit and get to get out and see areas that you might not have normally explored on your own. So really excited to see more of Key West and certainly excited to taste some delicious food today.
Hey, go pack.
So the food at LC Bimini was absolutely delicious. We had a pork asada, which you can see there, delicious food. The pork asada was served with rice. It was served with a wedge of lime, so you could put over that rice, and those black beans, and the bread. Everything was just so delectable. Really enjoyed it. Also, a plantain came with it. That was kind of like the delicacy of the dish. I always love a sweet plantain, but really good food there. And LC Bimini was actually the name of a native tribe down in Cuba, and that just shows the Cuban influence here in Key West. Of course, 90 miles from Key West, and in fact, Key West is closer to Cuba than it is a Target or a Walmart location. So let that sink in. That's how close you are. So the Cuban influence has always been here in Key West, even before Key West was part of the United States, which didn't happen until the late 1800s. The Cuban influence was here. So a lot of Cuban restaurants, a lot of Cuban food here, a lot of the culture is here in Key West. So that was a fantastic first stop. I don't know how we can top that or if it will be topped. Maybe that'll be my favorite stop of the day. But just really enjoyed that. That pork, the pork asada, they actually marinate that in a mojo. Mojo is like an orange, like a sour orange sauce. And so it's just so tender. There were some pickled onions there on top of it. I just really enjoyed it. Like if that was all of the food on this walking tour, I might be okay with that. But there's not. There's 5 locations in all, and that was only one of the 5. So we're on our way now back toward Duval Street. The tour guide just told us that's actually going to be the next stop is Duval Street. So we'll see what awaits us down there and what we see along the way. So this is actually LC Bimini restaurant. It's actually on Catherine Street, just to show you how residential it is here. Not a whole lot of businesses down this street. We are by a suburban propane location, but other than that, it is pretty residential. Not a lot of shops and things on Catherine Street. They don't have a lot of street signs here, but instead all the poles are marked with the names of the streets in Key West, which I thought was pretty unique and cool. You just look for the white markers on the poles, and that's how you'll actually see the name of the cross street that you're at. The tour guide was just telling us a little bit about this factory. Well, it used to be a factory back here. It was owned by Edward Gatto, and this was a cigar factory. And Edward Gatto was notorious for bringing the Cuban cigar industry here to Key West. It was a big boom back in the 1800s for Cuban cigars, and in fact, some of the houses that you see here behind me are known as Gatto houses because they were built here to support the folks that would come from Cuba and other places to support the Cuban cigar industry here in Key West. So here's just an example of some of the shotgun homes that make up Gattoville. This was the first residential neighborhood in Key West. But this house right here is currently on the market, just to show you how much home prices are in Key West. This house is currently on the market for $1.5 million. So interesting to hear a little bit about Gattoville and Edward Gatto and the Cuban cigar industry. And as you see, all these houses are the same because they are all a part of that community. Now, not only was Edward Gatto responsible for bringing Cuban cigars to Key West, he was also responsible for bringing all these chickens. Key West is known for all the chickens, mainly roosters, and that's because whenever the Cubans would come over, they would like to bring some stock, and usually that was in the way of chickens. So that's why there are so many chickens here in Key West, still to this day. Now we're back out on Duval Street, headed to our next location, but it's turned into a lovely day. Actually, the temperature has warmed up quite a bit now, so it's actually almost perfect weather. There's a nice cool breeze blowing, but I don't feel like I'm freezing to death like I was earlier. Cool to see Duval Street in the full January sunshine. But we're now making the turn to our next location. So this is the next stop. It's a Speakeasy Inn and Rum Bar, where we're going to get to try a virgin cocktail, which should be pretty good. Tour guide's just gone in now to arrange all that. We'll taste it in a minute. But just wanted to show you the outside because this looks like a really cool place. The Speakeasy Inn and Rum Bar here, just right on Duval Street. You can see we turned the corner of Duval and what is this? Amelia Street, but we're here just kind of on the side of it. You can also enter it or access it from Duval Street itself. So we're gonna walk now into the Speakeasy Inn and a Rum Bar. So it's the inn up above, and then of course the bar and everything down here on the main level.
This we love rough,
Oh, that cat is huge.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It's a chunky cat.
Trying to say it nicely.
That's how I'm going to look after this food tour. Back outside out here on the porch. wanted to show you around here. You can go upstairs there to the end. You see the banisters up there. They actually have illustrations because back during Prohibition, they actually had to put neat little designs in there to tell people that this was a bar. So if you kind of look from this angle, you can see the bottles that they put into the banisters. Let me zoom in just a bit to show you. Right there, you can kind of see the bottom, see the hearts, see the bottles. So that was sort of their sly way to tell people, to advertise to people walking by that this was a bar and they could come in and get a drink, you know, on the down low. At this location, I'm going to try a rum runner, and I opted for the Virgin, so non-alcoholic rum runner, but going to try this. One of their famous drinks, and a drink that was actually made famous in the Key West area back in the days of Prohibition, because they had to, again, sort of be on the down low about alcohol and stuff, so they would run rum back and forth between here and Cuba and some of the other islands in the Bahamas. So that's where the drink of rum runner came from. So it's a very popular cocktail to have in the Caribbean. Back on the move now after our stop at the Speakeasy Inn. Now we're headed across the vault. I don't know where we're headed, but I guess to our next food location, of course, but I don't know what we're going to see along the way. And it's certainly one of the exciting parts about one of these walking tours is, you know, you really don't know what's in store next, what you're going to see next, what you're going to learn next. And it's very fascinating. And I think I like these food tours so much because number one, love to eat. I mean, you can probably look at me and tell that. Number two, I love to explore. I love to learn things. And what better place to learn new things and see new things and explore new things than in Key West, Florida. I just really love it here. I'm being reminded today of why this is one of my favorite ports of call just about anywhere. Like, Key West is just so cool. We've now moved over from Duval Street to Whitehead Street. Whitehead Street runs parallel with Duval Street. It's just a street over. And it also, like Duval Street, runs from the Atlantic Ocean, which is back down there, all the way up to the Gulf of Mexico, which is up where the ship is docked up there. So a lot of restaurants and things also located on Whitehead Street. And speaking of restaurants, I meant to mention earlier, there are 300 restaurants, over 300 restaurants here in Key West. So while we're on a walking food tour, I wanted to mention there's no shortage of food and different types of cuisines to explore here. It's interesting to see all the different architecture types as you walk around too, just because all the houses are just so different. And then now we have this church here. This is actually the Rock House. I guess it used to be a church. I don't know what it is now. It looks like it might be an art exhibit now, but Rock House masterpiece here, and what looks to be like an old church, but a very cool looking island church just up Whitehead, right up that way. We're turning now, but would have been Hemingway's house of Ernest Hemingway, the famous writer. He loved Key West, one of the largest residences on Key West. So in addition to the Cuban cigar industry, the shipwreck industry was also very big in Key West. They would actually profit a lot off of shipwrecks that would happen nearby. So back in the day, whenever they had this lighthouse, folks would actually be paid to come and turn the light off at the lighthouse to encourage, hopefully, more shipwrecks that they could benefit off of. So kind of defeating the purpose of having a lighthouse. We're actually walking through the Bahama Village right now, another one of the oldest communities, one of the original communities here. The tour guide was telling us how this used to be waterfront, pretty much, but when the U.S. military came into Key West many, many years ago, they built a lot of this up and pushed the water back. So now there's a lot more land between here and the ocean front. But that's why that lighthouse is sort of in a weird spot. If you visit Key West, you might remark on it being in such a weird location because it is kind of in the middle of the island, not near the bodies of water.
Right there.
So we're back to Duval Street now, but this is actually the entrance to the Bahama Village. They actually have an archway up here denoting that, but we're really near now our next dining location after quite a bit of playing tourists and a lot of learning about Key West. Now we're going to our next location, which is going to be Mango's, which is right across the street, right up here. Duval Street, a lot of restaurants. Like I said, over 300 restaurants in Key West, and a lot of them located here on Duval Street, over on Whitehead Street, right here in what we were calling the main drags of Key West. And there come more visitors right there. A lot of jets flying over this afternoon, a lot of new visitors arriving at the airport, which is just nearby. Well, everything's nearby in Key West. It's not that big of a place. So now we're here at the next location, which is called Mango's, where we're gonna have some conch fritters and chowder. So Mango's was a cool place, and the tour guide was telling us that even locals, even folks that live here at Key West, come to eat at Mango's because they have such good food. Of course, a lot of seafood, but he says they also have a lot of land cuisine too, like steaks and burgers and things. But they're known for their conch fritters, and conch, of course, is the Conch Republic. It's a very big dish here in Key West. So we were able to have some conch chowder, and the conch chowder was really interesting. I never had anything quite like it because it's seafood, but kind of in like the same spices, almost like a soup or a chili. And it was actually a little bit spicy, which was really nice. And then we also had some conch fritters, and the conch fritters were homemade here, so they were really good. They had really good flavor to them, so really enjoyed both of the dishes that we had here at Mango's. A really good spot for some authentic conch, which is always a must here in Key West. And we're going into our next location, which is Kaya Island Eats, which is actually we were just right there at Mango's, and now we're coming here to Kaya.
I'll be right back with some more.
So we've just finished our meal here at Kaya, or tasting our food, I should say. Now we're going to walk through the full restaurant before we actually depart. So I just want to show you what that looks like, just in case you might be coming here considering this walking tour. You know what to expect. We eat outside, but they have an entire inside section.
What do you want? Let's get right here.
So the food that we had at Kaya was actually some mahi fish topped with like a pineapple salsa. And the cool thing about Kaya was it's actually more Hawaiian inspired, and that's because the owner is actually from Hawaii. The food there was really good. I really enjoyed the fish and really enjoyed the sauce and the salsa that was on top of it. Now headed to our final stop of the day already, the tour nearing its end. And I think now we're going to go for some Cuban coffee and some key lime pie at the next stop, the last stop, which will be exciting because all day long so far we've had, fish and Cuban food and everything. It'll be nice to have a little bit of dessert. So we've cut down an alley here just off Duval Street, and we are headed to Cuban Coffee Queen Roasters, and we are arriving there right now. And this right here is actually a key lime tree, and the tour guide was just saying that they actually don't get much bigger than this. You can see right there how small they are, but of course when they're green they're not as ripe. When they get ripe they're more of a yellow orangish color. But yeah, these are key limes and actually a key lime tree, so a lot different than what I was imagining. Maybe you're thinking the same thing right now. So here is the key lime pie that we're going to be having here at Cuban Coffee Queen Roasters. Of course, you can't visit Key West without key lime pie. It's like their staple dish, their staple dessert. Always a must every time I come here. So I'm glad it's a part of the tour. And this is actually known as Key Lime Square, right here where we were, back here getting our coffee. There's a lot of different businesses back here. But yeah, Cuban Coffee Queen was very good. Really enjoyed that key lime pie. Also sampled some Cuban coffee as well, which was good. Just a little bitty sample of it because it's quite strong. So now we have departed our official walking tour and are sort of back on our own now, headed back toward the ship. Now back to the cruise pier, back over here at Mallory Square. That is going to end our day here in Key West. What a fantastic day it's been. I want to say a big thank you again to my friends at Short Excursions Group. And folks, it's 2025. If you're still booking your short excursions through the cruise line or really anywhere else other than Short Excursions Group, you need to think about your life choices a little bit, because Short Excursions Group, they make a guarantee they're going to get you back to the ship. Our tour ended on time today. We're back at the ship just on time. Of course, I walked to my excursion today, but in the event that there was any transportation involved, they guarantee they're going to get you back on time. They even put money on it. So Short Excursions Group is completely safe. It's so convenient and easy to book with them. Click the link that I'm going to put down in the description. You can go to their website. You can put in your ship, the date that you're sailing. It's going to pull up your full itinerary and show you excursions for every single port of call. I promise you they're going to have excursions available. I've been on excursions now with them. Well, doing the walking food tour here in Key West, I've also done one with them in Amsterdam. I've done excursions with them in Australia. So all around the world, literally anywhere you're sailing, Shore Excursions Group is going to be able to help you out. I had a fantastic time on the tour today. I learned so much from the tour guide and just so much about the food, so much about the cultural, the background, the history of Key West, and I really enjoyed it. That's why I like to travel. You know, I like to have experiences like I had today where I'm actively learning. You know, it's not about, for me, you know, everybody travels for their own reason, and that's fine. But for me, being able to learn about the history and the culture of a place, that does it for me. That really makes me happy when I'm learning as I travel. All right, so that's the end of the tour. I want to say thank you to my friends at Shore Excursions Group once again for having me out on the tour today. Back in Mallory Square now, it is 3:36, and I think the gangway up all aboard time is 4:30. So yeah, we don't have but like 50 minutes or whatever, but it's actually been nice that I've been off all day. I got off at like 10:30 and been off till 3:30 or so. So it's been nice to be in Key West all day. Really, really love this port. It's probably one of my favorites. Like I think I mentioned this earlier. I think Key West is one of my favorite ports just because you can get off the ship and see so much stuff. There's so many restaurants and shopping, and there's beaches nearby. There's history and culture. It's just a really cool place. So really encourage you, if you've never been to Key West before, consider looking for some itineraries. And there are a lot. It's a very accessible port from Florida cruises especially. So make sure you get out to Key West when you can. Hello and good evening. It's been quite a while now since I got back on the ship in Key West. We've departed Key West now, and if you notice, I've got new hair. Actually got a haircut today on the ship. I went to the spa and got a spa treatment. It was $150 plus 18% gratuity, so it came out to like $180 total. Not only did I get a haircut, but it was like a facial, it was like an arm and neck massage, it was shaving. It's one of my favorite treatments. I got it a couple months ago when I saw it on Celebrity Beyond and loved it. So I think that's going to be maybe my new thing. We'll see. But I wanted to say real quick, a little editorial note, I guess. Thank you all for watching this extended vlog. And what I hope to do with these is show you stuff that you didn't see in the daily vlogs that I post for my cruise. So you're seeing that content, some stuff, if you watch those, you might say, well, I already seen this, but you're going to get a little bit more stuff too. You're going to get a little bit of like, you know, me on the ship and me just sort of telling you stuff as it comes to me. I hope that I can show a little bit more unedited footage in here, some of the stuff I might have cut out of the other vlogs. So this is just to really give you more information. If you want a deeper dive into some of the cruises, then these vlogs are for you, the full cruise vlogs. I'm going to try to do these in the future for all the cruises that I take. So let me know down in the comments what you think of that, if you think it's too much or how you feel about that. But it's a way for me to connect a little bit more with you and give you a little bit more content, give you a little bit more of my inside thoughts. So yeah, so telling you about the spa treatment that I got today, for example, you know, things like that. So that was very relaxing. It was like 90 minutes. It's currently 7 p.m. So a lot going on around the ship tonight. There's actually a lot going on this entire cruise. It's like jam-packed. I think that's one thing that with these short cruises, Celebrity's doing really great at, because this is the second one I've been on. I've been on Reflection on one of their short cruises before, but they do a great job of packing the itinerary, the onboard itinerary with lots of events. They know that folks only have a few days. They want to make the most of their cruise. So there are activities and events going on all day long, all over the ship. So I'm going to show you some stuff that they left on my door this afternoon or this evening and walk you through some of the new information that I've received. And by information, I just mean like, you know, because this is a 3-day cruise, on the second night of your cruise, you're about to leave and go home, you know, the final port, the day that you leave and everything. Normally you get this, I guess, the second to the last night of the cruise, which is tonight technically, but it's so weird getting it this early in the cruise for those of us who aren't used to taking these shorter cruises. But I am premium access, as I mentioned earlier, yesterday. So I do get priority disembarkation as well. And there is a dedicated meeting place just for guests with premium access. So it says that starts at 7:30. And I have a 9 a.m. flight out of Fort Lauderdale. I do this a lot. It's really, I know you're probably thinking, my goodness, you're so irresponsible with your flights and stuff. Both coming and leaving, you're doing the same thing, and you're right. But a 9 a.m. flight, so I'm going to get off here as early as I can. So I'm going to be looking for that 7:30 departure so I can be over at Fort Lauderdale Airport by 8, because I think my flight actually boards at 8:30. And then something else they sent me to my mailbox this evening. They actually said, as you enjoy your time on board the Silhouette, we would like to extend an offer for you and your party to enjoy. Treat your table to a complimentary starter dish during a meal at Sushi on 5, our authentic sushi restaurant. Redeeming is easy. Make a reservation for Sushi on 5 and bring this card when you sit to eat. This is valid one-time use only for new bookings only, cannot be transferred to another guest or combined with other offers, and must be ordered in combination with at least one sushi roll or entree dish, valid only for this sailing. So I think they're trying to drive more people into Sushi on 5. And I've noticed in the past when I've eaten there, there's not a lot of people eating there. So I guess they're trying to get more people into the specialty restaurant. So I may actually take them up on this because I have been on Celebrity so much and in the dining room so much. I think I've eaten just about everything on the menu. So I'm not really that keen on going to the dining room tonight. So maybe I'll go here instead. We'll see where I end up going to dinner in a minute. And then I wanted to show you one more thing. The Celebrity today for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be in Bimini. Pretty good chance that we might miss Bimini because of the weather. I think it's pretty common occurrence that ships miss Bimini, and it's been very windy today and going to be very windy tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. But there are plenty of activities going on around the ship, and this is what I was talking about a minute ago. Celebrity just stacking the deck, literally, the pool deck with lots of activities. So this is saying make a splash, join us for a whole new side of poolside tomorrow from 9 a.m. all the way until 10:15 p.m. There's things like audio guided meditation. There's a Caribbean dance class. There's pool Olympic, pool volleyball, and a full moon party. They're also going to have live music all day long. And then if we go... they're trying to get us to book more cruises here. Thank you. Here is the schedule for tomorrow. And normally in a port day, if you've cruised a lot, you know that it can be kind of scarce on a port day because, they figure everybody's going to be off the ship. But there is something from 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, this is just the morning from 6 o'clock to 11:45. Look at all of these activities. And then the afternoon here and here, you see even more. And then in the evening, a ton more. So a lot to do on the ship. Even on a port day. So they're jam-packed, these itineraries with entertainment, which I think is really awesome because people might just, on a short cruise, you might just want to hang out and let the ship sort of be a resort for a few days and not get off in port. So I do love that they offer so many different activities for folks to partake in. So yeah, just wanted to show that. This is really all I've received this evening in my mailbox. So I wanted to show you all that was going on. And then this is the book now or book later. If you've never done this before, you can book a cruise. Like for the future, you can put $100 per person down. You can choose your ship, premium, stateroom, and sell date today with Future Credit Vacations team, or you can book later. You can put $100 down just to get like a voucher for future sailing, and within 6 months you can choose your Celebrity Cruises vacation. And again, same thing, receive up to $500 onboard credit. And if you're getting $500 onboard credit, that means you booked a suite on a 16+ night voyage, which means you're spending tens of thousands of dollars. So you're probably going to get like $50 to $100 onboard credit typically, but this is the deal that they get you. So if you do want to do a voucher, $100 per person, you got 6 months to pick the cruise and sell date, the ship and sell date for your cruise, or you can book now if you have a ship in mind. So just wanted to let you know about that. I've never actually mentioned that before. And if you work with a travel agent, you can actually tell them your travel agent's information when you do this, and they can make sure to link up with your travel agent so that your travel agent owns the booking and gets the commission and everything. I'm going to hang out for a bit. It's 7 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, tonight they're having a boy band show. Haven't quite decided if I want to go to that or not. At 10:30, I know that they're having a comedy show, like a late night adults comedy, and I really want to go to that. So that might be my show tonight. I'm going to figure out dinner. Because I did the walking food tour today, I'm not that hungry, so I don't know if I'm going to go to dinner or not. Maybe I'll just go get some sushi, like a sushi roll and then a free appetizer. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Stay tuned. I'll take you along with me, though, whatever we get up to tonight. Well, I guess I was a sucker last night because I ended up going to Sushi on 5 because of that promotion that they sent to my room. I was like, you know what? I really like Sushi on 5. I always enjoy going there. And sushi is kind of light, so I wasn't that hungry. So I was like, I'm going to go there. So I went there. It was delicious. For my starter, my free starter, I got a ramen slider, which was like ramen with some Kobe beef on top. It was so good. Really enjoyed it. And then for my main, I got a shrimp tempura roll and enjoyed that. So because I got the appetizer for free, my bill came out to be like $11 because I also got like 15% off as a perk of being Elite Plus with Celebrity. So a really cheap dinner. I'm really glad I went there and enjoyed that. I'm already giving away where I'm at now because we did make it into Bimini this morning, very early this morning. I woke up around 6:37 to the vibrating, meaning that the thrusters were on. because they're like directly under my room. And so I knew that we were coming into port here in Bimini, and that was big because I'd heard yesterday a lot of the crew talking about like, well, we normally miss Bimini. Bimini is a hard port to get into because they've dredged so narrow of a channel basically for ships to come into, and if it's windy, they a lot of times can't get in if the current's too strong. And the current was pretty strong this morning because I was watching sort of the wake as we backed in, but the wake out ahead of us, it was carried off very quickly. So I think it's very lucky that we got in here today. Also very lucky that the weather is cooperating because this is late January of 2025 when I'm filming this, and we left from Fort Lauderdale, Florida a couple days ago, and it was like mid 50s. It was very cool. Yesterday we were in Key West and it was like in the low 60s. So today I think we're going to be in the lower 70s. It's certainly not warm enough to be a beach day, which is what I originally wanted to do here. I'm still going to kind of show you where I would have gone to the beach and all that in this video, but it's just not warm enough to like be out in the ocean. You know, it's a little too chilly for that. But regardless, we're going to have a great time in Bimini, showing you around some of the highlights. I absolutely love coming to Bimini. This is my third or fourth time coming here across. It's the first time coming here with Celebrity. I've been here with Virgin. Of course, a lot of people know Bimini because of its relationship to Virgin Voyages. Just about all the Virgin Voyages that are in the Caribbean come to Bimini because they do have the Virgin Beach Club right over here in Bimini. So Virgin helped to create the pier here. I think they helped to fund the pier here. It's actually the Resorts World Bimini Pier. Resorts World is the name of the beach club, and I think they have some business dealings with Virgin, and that's sort of how that came to be. But I've also been here on Carnival. So I think just about all the cruise lines now stop here, but if you're going on a Virgin cruise, you're probably going to be coming to Bimini. So a little bit of background on where we're at, a little bit of context going into this video. So I know where things are, mostly around the island. So I'm going to get off the ship here in a little bit and show you around, but first I'm going to go get some coffee because it's 9:45 in the morning yet, so still pretty early, but we're going to go look for some coffee here on the ship and enjoy that before we get off, because we got all day to enjoy here in beautiful Bimini. So I'm here on deck 5. This is the location of Cafe Al Bacho. Cafe Al Bacho is the coffee central. It's the cafe here. Not that busy, so I guess a lot of folks have already maybe gotten off the ship. Again, almost 10 a.m. We've been docked for over an hour and able to get off the ship. The cool thing about Cafe Al Bacho is they have this case that's just full of goodies. They have, like today, a Nutella croissant. They have a chocolate croissant, plain croissant, and an almond croissant. They also have a selection of different muffins. Oh, they also have a pistachio croissant, which is good. They have donuts also, Danishes, all sorts of things. And the cool thing is all these are included, so you don't have to pay any additional for these croissants or anything that you might get out of here. Now that's different from the coffee, because the coffee is specialty coffee, so unless you have a beverage package or something, you will have to pay additional for each cup of coffee that you get. Especially remembered that the elite breakfast is going on back here in Tuscan Grill, and I wanted to come here at least once during the cruise, get a bit of breakfast, but if you are elite or higher in Celebrities Captain's Club, that's their loyalty program, then you can come to this breakfast, and everything on the menu is included, even if you don't have a drink package. All the juices and breakfast options are available to you. We're out by the windows that look out over the back, and because we're backed into Bimini, we actually have a pretty good view of the port area. So you see all the folks down there waiting. They're actually waiting to get on the tram that I mentioned that'll take you around the island. We'll check all that out in a minute. But I'm glad we're not going right now, because it does look like there's quite a line. So hopefully if we wait it out a bit and get off in just a bit, we'll have less of a wait. So we'll check that out in a bit. I just wanted to show you our first glimpse of where we're headed today. And here is breakfast right here. I got the smoked salmon platter. There's a bagel with some cream cheese and onions and capers and lemon and tomato with the smoked salmon, of course. And then I also got the toasted muesli. So now with breakfast done, we're gonna go upstairs and see what it's like up on the open decks and at the buffet. Did notice by watching out the window that a lot of people are still filing off the ship, but looking at the crowd levels here in Ocean View, it seems like a lot of people are actually still on board the ship finishing up breakfast and things. They've actually closed it up. It's 10:24. They have a few stations open, I think, left for like more continental items, mueslis and oatmeals and fruits. They got some camels there, if that's your thing. I don't know why those are there, that's random. So again, this is for late risers. This is just what the remnants of breakfast looks like right now. They also have quite the selection of different danishes and pastries, sugar rolls, all different things. One of the cool things about these Solstice class ships, and really a lot of the celebrity ships, is they do have seating available for the buffet all the way aft and an outside portion, so you can actually bring your breakfast or meal outside to eat. So let's take another look out at Bimini at 10:30. See what our crowd levels look like. Still a lot of folks down there waiting on the tram. I noticed when I was eating breakfast, a couple of trams showed up and they were loading a couple simultaneously. A lot of people are walking too. You can see all the way down the pier down there. It's quite the long pier, but you can see Bimini is not that big. You can actually pretty much see the extent of it from here. This is I think this is North Bimini Island that we're on here, but you can see the northern extent of it right up there. And then if we look back down this way, you can actually see the southern extent. You can see how very narrow the whole island is too. It's not very wide at all. So a very small island. It feels very exclusive coming here, almost untouched because it's not a major port like Nassau, not an industrial port like Freeport, and it's not a private island per se like a lot of the cruise lines have here in the Bahamas. So it is very cool. Another interesting thing about Bimini is we're only about 55 nautical miles from Miami. So we're not that far away. The ship could probably get back if they went at a decent cruising speed in about 3 hours. So yeah, that's just wanted to take in the scenery and see what we were looking at here. Still a long line, so we'll wait a little bit longer before we head out and start our adventuring. But I'm gonna walk up here to deck 15 real quick because this is the sunset bar area of the ship up here. So there's additional seating up here. So yeah, if you're waiting it out like me, if you're coming here, or if you're sailing on one of these ships, really anywhere, you know, just know that there's plenty of places for you to sit and wait it out, or just people watch. All right, it's currently 12:24. I actually ended up filming a completely different video, and that's what's been a couple of hours since you've heard from me in this vlog. A lot of things going on today, though. It's busy life sometimes being a travel vlogger. But just off the ship, you can see the silhouette here behind me. One of the cool things about being ported in Bimini is that there's only one ship a day. There's only room for one ship a day. And again, because they had to dredge so much just to have this one berth here. But it's kind of cool because that keeps the number of people down. Like I said, it's a very small island, relatively speaking. So it's cool that there's only one ship, but also not that long of a walk. Right down there is where we get on the ship, about midship. And then we're just gonna walk right down this pier, right over here to where the tram is. And there's a tram loading up now, so I better hurry up and get over there and get on it. But I'll show you as we go. We're just gonna walk right around here. It's where you board the tram. The tram is free. They call it a free shuttle, but it is free. And it is gonna take us all around Bimini. And it's leaving us. No, come back. It's leaving right now. That's okay. I think they come pretty regularly. So we won't, it's not like we'll be, you know, missing out or it'll take forever. But there's actually a sign right here showing you. It says Resorts World Bimini free shuttle board here. It's going to Bimini Beach. It's going to the casino. It makes a stop at Hilton. There is a Hilton location here in Fisherman's Village. So 4 stops. And so that one just left 12:26. So we'll see actually how long it takes for the shuttles, how frequent they run. But there is a nice shaded area here for you to stand under, so you don't have to be baking in the sun. And actually not much baking in the sun going on today, because thankfully the temperature is currently about 71 degrees, but there's a nice cool breeze blowing, which keeps it nice also. As I showed you earlier, there is a walkway you can see right around here. A lot of folks coming from that way. You can walk down the pier if you want to, if you like to just walk instead. There's a lot of people coming back right now, and I'm not sure how far it is to the, I would walk, maybe I'll walk back. But I want to show you the shuttle and all the stops it makes. So we'll wait first for the shuttle and take that. But you can see the sign there. Welcome to Bimini, Bahamas at Resorts World Bimini. So we'll see what time the shuttle shows up here, and that'll give us an idea of how frequent the shuttles come around. So it's been 6 minutes. And here's the shuttle they're dropping off over there. They'll let those folks off and they'll pull over here to load us on. And I just asked someone that worked here. They said it's every 10 to 15 minutes. So we're actually getting lucky, I guess, that it's coming before it's scheduled to come, I guess. But 6 minutes, that's not bad at all. And again, this shuttle's gonna take us all around the island to anywhere, I should say the northern parts of the island. It doesn't go everywhere on the island, but You'll just see. You'll see the cool places that it goes and all the different places that you can access. Also want to remark, as we're going across this bridge, the one I told you that you can walk across, there is a beach over here. So if you just want to go quickly to the beach, you could just walk down here. You see the folks over here walking. You could just walk to the end of this pier. You go to this beach right here. They got umbrellas and looks like there's cabanas and everything right there. So that's an option too, I suppose. I think that's a public beach so that anybody can access it and enjoy. There's also a beach over here. I see some folks on the other side as well. So one of the pool activities that you could partake in if you wanted to, you're going to see a lot of golf carts as we go along. They do offer golf cart rentals. I've done that before. I actually have a video, and I'll put that video here if you want to go back and watch it. The first time I came to Bimini. It used to be $60 when I did it, but I've heard that the price has gone up now, so it's like $100 or north of $100 for that. But it is really fun. Like if you're coming with a group of people and you want to sort of take your own adventure on the island, I highly recommend that you do that, because you're going to be able to go places that you can't really go, of course, on the shuttle. But you're going to have the run of the island, basically, on the golf cart. So that's the best thing, in my opinion, that there is to do here on Bimini. And here's where I rented mine right here at this little parking lot right here. And a lot of it's same day. I mean, you see how many golf carts there's available right here. You could just show up there and rent one for the day. They have so many available. All right, so we're here at Resorts World Bimini Beach. And this is actually an exclusive area. You do have to have a pass. And I say that because if you're coming here with Virgin Voyages, it's going to be included. This is their beach club. They have like a big beach party here. So if you're coming on Virgin, this is going to be included. But if you're coming with Celebrity, which I'm here with, it's going to be, the excursion was like 46 to 50 bucks to come here for the day. Originally I was going to do it, but I decided not to because of the weather. I thought it was going to be cooler and windy and all that. But I know you can get day passes just by showing up, so I'm actually going to go inquire about that, and we'll see how much, if it's cheaper to do it on your own or if you should book it with the cruise line. So let me ask about that now and I'll report back. So I did just ask, and they did let me know that you do have to purchase walk-up tickets, the day of tickets, through the cruise line. So it seems like they're in cahoots, y'all. They're all working together now with the cruise line, and they want you to book it through the cruise line. I was reading online, though, that there might be some option that you can walk up, cruise guests can walk up, but I think maybe you have to act like you're not on a cruise. But then again, they were saying that if you're staying at the Hilton that we just saw, it's free. And if you are a resident of Bimini, it's also free. So it just really depends, I guess. Like if you want to go to the beach club and you're coming from a ship, see what the price is and what's included with the excursion. I know Celebrity was offering, like, for that $45, $50 price, whatever it was, like a welcome drink, like a Bahama Mama welcome drink. There was an option where you could do lunch included, which was like $100 more, which was insane to me, because why does lunch cost $100? And then there was options like with cabana rentals and all that. But $45, $50 if you want to come here. They wouldn't let me in today even just to like take a quick view of the pool, so it's very restricted, of course. So yeah, that's the situation with the Bimini Beach Club right here. Just wanted to give you that context, that little bit of information. If you are thinking about coming here and you do want to come here, just know it sounds like, from what they just told me, they're not going to sell you a day pass. They want you to book that through the cruise line. So that's as of January 2025, that's the latest. You can see right over there is where we got off the tram, and I inquired at the front entrance right there. But if right here, if you come just to the right of that, you'll see there's actually a sign here that says tram pickup. So there is a covered shaded area here where you can wait for the next tram. So we'll probably be waiting for probably 10 minutes or so. It's 12:45 right now. And then we'll go to the next location, or at least show you where else the tram stops here in Bimini. So I am like the most impatient person ever. I hate waiting, so I have to be entertained. So of course I looked at my cell phone to see if there's any Wi-Fi. There is free Wi-Fi here. I also saw it was available over at the port as well, but it is the Resorts World Bimini Guests, and you just have to put in an email address and it's gonna let you access Wi-Fi, I think, all around the island. So it actually has a map here too of like the shuttle and where all the shuttle stops are. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so just want to let you know there is Wi-Fi available if you want to use that to stay in contact when you're here at Bimini Beach or anywhere really on the island. And it's been about 15 minutes, but the tram is here. I guess we got to stand back here. They'll come over here and pick us up. But about 15 minutes since the last time they came around and I got off. So yeah, I guess it was lucky, or luck rather, that we got on it so quickly last time. But 15 minutes is about the average wait in between trams. All right, so now we're leaving the Resorts World Bimini Beach and headed to the next tram stop. And I'll just tell you a little bit about each of the next stops. I'm not actually going to get off. I think the biggest part of the tour, what I wanted to show you today, was about the Bimini Beach and how much that costs and all that. So yeah, we'll see where the next stop is, and I'll give you a little bit of information about that once we arrive. So now we're rolling up to the next stop on the shuttle, which is the casino. We're not going to go in because they don't really like me to film in casinos, but just know if you like a casino off the ship, you can come here for that. While we were waiting for the shuttle to offload and reload with new guests that were joining us here, a guy did come up and ask if anybody wanted to rent a golf cart for the day. So this is, of course, one of those places. If you do want to rent the golf cart, just come to the second shuttle stop, which is the casino. And you can see here, Earth Time right here. And then in the parking lot over here behind me, there's even more. So if this is, if that's what you want to do for the day, which I highly recommend you do, this is where you can come to rent golf carts or to gamble, whichever. So now we're making our next stop with even more golf carts. And you can see some of them are really big. Some of them are like 4-seaters, some of them are 6-seaters. So they've got options for everybody. But I believe this is the Fisherman's Village. So if you're looking to come there, this stop here, Fisherman's Village stop rather, and the sign says they have shopping, spirits to go, clothing, jewelry, souvenirs, and bars and music. So a lot of stuff to do there, a lot of stuff to see. I've been there before. Oh no, I think my first visit to Bimini, and went to, there's like a convenience store there if you need like medication or something when you're off the ship. So if there's like necessities that you need, you can stop off at Fisherman's Village and get those. Stuff that you might not be able to find on the ship that you might need. There's like a little beach right here. Oh, and Fisherman's Village right there, and we're just, right here's the pier. So if you're gonna walk off the pier without taking the shuttle, you can actually just walk to Fisherman's Village. Right here's the end of the pier. And right over there is Fisherman's Village. So that'd be a really easy walk from the ship if you need to do any shopping or get any essentials while you're here. So I actually stopped here before they would let us on the pier to make sure that everyone on the shuttle has a key card. And that took a little bit of time because people had to dig through. So if you're on the shuttle, they will make you show your key card before they drive across the pier, because only people that are going to the cruise ship can be on the pier and down here having access to the ship. But there's a little beach we talked about earlier that if you just want to walk to from the ship, that water looks amazing, but it also looks cold. I see those people like shivering as they're getting in. But see how stunning the beautiful water is. I think Bimini has some of the prettiest water in the Bahamas. It's certainly one of the best islands of the Bahamas. So make sure you don't pass up on an opportunity to come here. If you see an itinerary that comes to Bimini, I highly encourage you to book it and come here at least once and see what you think about it. Again, my favorite thing to do is to get the golf cart, and I showed you the couple locations you could rent those. But everything here is free. Like the shuttle's free, there's some free beaches, there's free shopping. So a lot of things you can do to make a free beach day here. You don't even need to spend any money for an excursion. And now we are approaching the ship, where we're gonna get off and walk right on back to the Celebrity Silhouette. And so that was like 45 minutes total from the time that we got on to the time that we got back. So just a quick little tour around. That was my goal, is just to sort of show you what there is to do here. I wasn't gonna, again, because of the weather, I wasn't gonna try to get in the water or go to the beach. I wasn't gonna pay the $50 to go to the beach club. Those are the free things you can do. Again, the shuttle's free, a lot of beaches and things that are free. So plenty of options for things for you to do when you come to Bimini. And it is such a beautiful and stunning place, and I hope that you got to see some of that today. And after a short walk, we are back to the Celebrity Silhouette. I always like that Celebrity provides water, cold towels when you ride back to the ship. That's a nice touch that most cruise lines don't do. And here we go back on the ship. So I do think that is going to do it for this mega vlog here. All my excursions and all So that is going to do it now for my adventure here on board the Celebrity Silhouette. Thank you for watching. It's the first time I've ever done one of these like mega vlogs of everything from one cruise in it. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching if you watched this far. I know it's a long one, but I do appreciate it. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of the stuff that you didn't see in the other vlogs and just seeing everything here together. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments about this format, me doing it this way. But I do hope that you've enjoyed seeing my time here on the Silhouette as much as I've enjoyed being on the Silhouette, because it's been a fantastic time. I want to say thank you as usual for watching my videos. I really appreciate all the support that I get from the community here. Thank you for the messages that you send, all the great comments that you provide me. I just am really happy that I have this as a side hobby to do. I really enjoy getting to go on cruises and tell you all about it and show you the cruising experience. So thank you for that. And thank you again for watching. And I'll see you very soon. We have adventures coming up, many adventures this year, but the next one's not so far away. So I'll see you on the next adventure. It's now been many hours since we got back on board in Bimini. I've just been relaxing. I took some time to go up to the spa today, and then I've just gone to dinner. It's currently 7:15, but I went to dinner at 5:30 when dinner opens because I thought it'll be a lighter crowd in there then, and sure enough it was. So it's been a great day. I enjoyed Bimini, enjoyed being there again. Highly recommend that you do go there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Again, you got to get on one of those golf carts. That's my recommendation for you. Skip the beach club because there's many other beaches on the island, and when you're on the golf cart you can actually go to the southern portion of the island, and there's much more remote areas that you can go to and don't have to worry about crowds or anything like that. There's also like local restaurants. You'll go right through Town, which is the main town. So highly recommend that you get a golf cart, even if it's $100 now. Some people have told me they've gone up, maybe even $120. Still going to be worth it because you'll have it all day long, the entire day. You can sort of come and go as you wish. You can go anywhere on the island that you want to. So highly recommend that you do that, but just above all, just go to Bimini. I promise that you'll enjoy it. It's always a great time. So that is going to do it now for my adventure here on board the Celebrity Silhouette. Thank you for watching. It's the first time I've ever done one of these like mega vlogs of everything from one cruise in it. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching if you watched this far. I know it's a long one, but I do appreciate it. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of the stuff that you didn't see in the other vlogs and just seeing everything here together. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments about this format, me doing it this way. But I do hope that you've enjoyed seeing my time here on the Silhouette as much as I've enjoyed being on the Silhouette, because it's been a fantastic time. I want to say thank you as usual for watching my videos. I really appreciate all the support that I get from the community here. Thank you for the messages that you send, all the great comments that you provide me. I just am really happy that I have this as a side hobby to do. I really enjoy getting to go on cruises and tell you all about it and show you the cruising experience. So thank you for that. And thank you again for watching. And I'll see you very soon. We have adventures coming up, many adventures this year, but the next one's not so far away. So I'll see you on the next adventure.